Hey everybody, Edo here, and for this week's League video, we are going to talk about being a reviewer. How can I be a reviewer? So you want to be a reviewer. I actually get that question a lot. A lot of people are really interested in what it takes to be a board game reviewer. What do they need? How do they get started? A lot of it centers around how can I get free copies of games from publishers? Like, how do I reach out to publishers? How do I get copies of games? And so, to start, right, like, getting free games is not why you should do reviews. It's just not, you're barking up the wrong tree. The reality is, like, for the amount of time and consistency and effort it takes, like, you would be better off taking up a minimum wage job, right? Like, in your free time, be a waiter or something, right? Like, you'd be better to earn a little extra cash and just buy games for the amount of times it takes to do reviews, right? What you really need to think about is, why do you want to be a reviewer? What is your objective? What are you trying to accomplish? What's inspiring you to do this, right? Do you really love to share your opinion? Do you have a lot of opinions you need to get out? Do you think you're really good on camera? For me, the reason I began reviewing was very particular. During the Liftoff campaign, I found that all the reviewers and people I was talking to had these really long reviews. They were all like, here's how you play, and then here's my opinion. And I really just wanted, like, shorter reviews. I wanted short reviews that I could just watch and be like, what does this guy or gal think of the game? I can learn how to play the game when I'm going to play it. I'm thinking about buying it, right? Just to say it, a lot of people really do like the long things. Right? I would almost go so far as to say more people like the full reviews than the short reviews, but I digress. The second thing was, as somebody who was making games and publishing games, those are such long timelines. They're like year timelines. I wanted to be able to do something where I could contribute and add value to the community. I could be a part of adding more regularly, more consistently than once a year, right? And so that's why I started Board Game Reviews. Why you might want to start it is up to you. But certainly, if you think that you're going to be getting a ton of copies from publishers, think again. It'll happen. Some publishers will send me a game or two. Certainly on the Kickstarter side, I get every Kickstarter backer or Kickstarter creator is happy to send me a copy of their game. Like, there's no shortage of Kickstarter games. But by and large, I review mostly games that I've purchased on my own or I've played and borrowed a copy to review or whatever, for sure. Kickstarter's second, and then copy from a publisher's far third. So, but in terms of, so having said all that, the next most important thing, if you want to be a reviewer, is you need to be prepared to be consistent. You need to be prepared to release content on a regular basis, on a good cadence, for a long, sustained period of time. That's how you build an audience. I mean, if you just like want to do a review to do a review, go do it. Nothing's stopping you. But if it's actually like, no, I want to have a review channel, and I want to, like, if you want to build, it's a long haul, and you got to be ready to have it. So for me, another part of it was thinking about what amount of video content could I actually produce. I know how to make videos with close-ups and far shots and mid shots and changing cameras, and I know how to do all that. It is a pain. It takes a 10-hour process and makes it a 20-hour process. I was not ready or willing to do that, and so I built my review style and approach around what I was capable of doing consistently for a long period of time. I've done 200 reviews over, I don't know, a year. No, it's 2-year period, right? So, like, that's a lot, like, and you need to be able to do it. So, okay, you should practice, try it, figure out your voice. You don't need to know your voice up front. You don't need to know what your style is, what's going to work. You can figure that out on the go, but figure out how you can take it on. So, but hey, Ed, shut up. I want to do it. Stop telling me about how I should or what I want. I'm watching this video because I wanted it. Okay, real easy. You need a phone. Every single one of my things is filmed on my iPhone. It can be an Android phone, I don't care. The quality is fine. You don't need a speaker, a mic, if you had one, it'd be great. I don't do one, but I have to deal with all these audio issues. I might even have a little Kickstarter to help fund it. But I have a phone that's right there. It's standing on a little tripod, like a $15 Gorilla Target tripod, on 3 game boxes. It's on Quantum, Steampunk Rally, and Dragon's Gold. Those are the games it's standing on. Those are the same 3 boxes I put there every time I do a review because I don't want to deal with figuring out the height every single time, right? I then have my earphones out from the camera forward so I can start and stop the review. I turn all the lights on and I open the windows. I pick the spot in my house that has my games, right? I thought through lighting. Go back to my first reviews. My sound was worse, my lighting was worse, and my game shelf was totally different, right? Second, you don't need to wait for some publisher to give you a game to do a review. Hopefully you have games because you love games, because that's why you're doing these reviews, right? So just start reviewing things you have. One of my best reviews performances ever was Kingdoms by Reiner Knizia. I've had this game forever. I mean, not forever, but for a long time. I can't even tell you exactly why that review is so popular, but boy, it is a super popular review. More popular than a number of reviews by 10x more popular than a number of reviews of games that came out recently, right? So don't worry about that. And perhaps you don't want to be a reviewer. Perhaps you want to do unboxing. Perhaps you want to do opinion. All of that's fine. You want to be consistent. You want to find your voice. You want to have an opinion. You want something about what you do that people like. Like, one thing about me is I don't, from a review perspective, I like to review games I like. I play more games than I review. There are games I receive that I don't review. I don't have this great need to do a negative review. It's not worth my time to do that. Like, I would rather not spend 10 hours doing a review to, like, trash something. Just some people do. Some people love it. Or some people just do such a huge volume that they sort of have to. So you've got your camera, your phone that you're perhaps watching this video on, a stupid tripod that costs $15 that you complain about every time you put it together, but it'll work. You have your game boxes that you're using to prop it up. You've got lighting, and you film. You hit start, you go. What you want to do is you want to show the thing you're going to review off. You want to give that a second. You want to say the name of it. You want to go, and then you want to do that again at the end, and then you don't want to turn it off immediately. You want to breathe, count down from 3, and then finish, right? Then you will need some sort of video editing software. I use iMovie that comes on the Mac. It's free. It works. Lots of people use other programs. You can use I've edited film on my phone. Again, depends on the complexity. But real easy. You want some sort of lead-in. It can just be a single image that you've created. You can even use iMovie to annotate things, but it doesn't have to be incredible. Have a little logo, have a little name. You can have a jingle. Then you're going to put your video in. So still shot, transition, video. If you're not doing any editing because you're not there yet, transition, end box. You're going to need a place to put it. I use YouTube. There are other channels you can do. I've been really happy with YouTube. And you set up an account. It's pretty straightforward, like setting up anything. And then you're going to be uploading your video. You're going to be making it public, unlisted, or private. I upload to private until I want to go public. Unlisted is something used for Kickstarter so that they can put it on the Kickstarter page. Unlisted means it's open, but it's not promoted. And it's really easy. Go do it. Absolutely give it a try. Just don't have some illusion that you're going to become some guy who, like, if you've ever seen Tom Vassell walking around a con, it's awesome. He just walks to booths and they're like, here's your stack. And, but that's him. That's Dice Tower. Like, don't worry about that. If you want to get copies of games and talk to publishers, it's really, one thing you could do is review one of their games that you bought. So you can point to a review you've done on something they care about. That's a good start. 2, you could have a little bit of a breadth of subscribers or a breadth of reviews already. But if you go to cons, most publishers, if you go find them at a con or emailing them, cons are always better. If you get them at the end of the con, they'll usually give you a copy of a game. Not always, but you usually get one. And then if you review it, doesn't necessarily even have to be a great review, but if they gave you something because you asked them, because you said, I want to review it, and they let you have it, to do that, do it. If you don't review the game, they're probably not going to give you another. it isn't about a good review or a bad review or shill. It's just like, hey, you asked for something, we gave it to you, and then you threw it out, right? Like, you don't want that vibe. You want to say, oh no, I did it, and I did that review, and sorry I didn't like it, but maybe I'll like your next game, right? Or whatever. Most board game publishers understand that attention's attention, and good review, bad review, people find what they like on their own. So I think that's really it. This is one of those things that's about gumption. It's just about going and doing. You have all the tools you need. You don't need anything special. And give it a shot. Tiffany is an inspiration, and she did tons of the One Tower. She did tons of GoPro stuff and walking at cons, and I tried to do those guest reviews early on, and they were great, but then I ran out of guests because people are busy. There's all sorts of content you can create, but create content you care about and you need these things. Be inspired. Do things you love. I love sharing great games with other people. I love it. I really enjoy the videos thing. If I didn't, I would have, even with my initial goal, that would have petered out if I didn't really enjoy it. So do what you love, and if you love doing videos and making it happen, go for it. It'll be rewarding, it's worth your time and attention, and it really isn't that easy to get started. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.